Coulda, shoulda, didn't. Devils lose 4-3 to the Tampa Bay Lightning in overtime in a game where, at least 5-on-5, I felt like we were by far the better team in this one. Yes, it was looking a little shaky there, at least through two. Tampa gets a shorthanded goal that probably never should have went in against VTech for the second one. The first one was a beautiful, beautiful deflection. Probably got to put that one on Nemec for not at least being on top of his guy, let alone not being there to tie up the stick or anything. And then the third goal on the pulled goalie 6-on-5 situation. Point gets lost in coverage. Guys are really tired out there. I mean, Tampa is Tampa. When they have the extra man on the ice, that is deadly, deadly stuff. I'm not really going to put too much blame there on that one. Just beautiful passing, beautiful setup, fresher legs, and an elite shot on point to make it 3-3. And then that overtime goal, probably also one maybe you want VTech to have, but we did get the point out of it. And the effort from the boys was fantastic in this one, even with all the injuries. I mean, this was essentially a full health Tampa. I believe really the biggest name they were missing is Sergachev, but they had Vasi back. They have Stamkos, Kucherov, Point, Hedman. We're missing Jack Hughes, Timo Meyer, Dougie Hamilton, Andre Palat, so on and so forth, even with some depth guys out there as well. Jonas Siegenthaler, that's what, half our top six and our entire top pair. But we made it very competitive. And by very competitive, I mean, I think we were just the better team in this one. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit further about it. Top six, I think, played very well. The Nico line, I think, started the game off strong and then tailed off a little bit there towards the end. And then not starting off as strong was the Mikey line, but then really kind of picked it up into the second through the rest of the game, at least by my eye test. And I felt like they were definitely the strongest line by the end. Bratt had multiple breakaways but didn't finish. Kucherov had multiple breakaways that didn't finish. Point had a breakaway that didn't finish. Bastian had a point, and of course, out of all four of those names I just listed, Bastian's the one that finishes it to tie it up. Both teams had a disallowed goal. I don't know why they announced the Stamkos one as disallowed. That was never even close to being a goal that was ever going to count. The offsides for the Mikey, but maybe could have even been Toffoli, but I think would have been Mikey's goal is very unfortunate. It was super close. As they were talking about on the broadcast, I think the biggest thing there was the puck didn't fully cross the blue line by the time Nemec had touched the puck. Very clearly, Toffoli was way in the zone, but the Lightning player almost did bring it back in themselves, which would have made the play on sides. Great effort there. The goal that wasn't, man, that was a lot of hype. And then, but I get the call there. The team played great. I mean, the bottom six held its own enough. I really think they were outchanced and outplayed for the most part. They did have their chances and zone time, which was good to see. But for the most part, that bottom six was just there to take up ice while the top six was resting. Same thing kind of with the bottom pair there. I don't think Miller Ball worked out very well. The top four actually looked pretty good. Smith Nemec actually was pretty decent. Nemec continues to be just a breath of fresh air, an amazing player. Yes, he did have a couple plays where it ended up coming back the other way, but he had the great defensive stick on the one almost breakaway by Tampa there in the third period. Luke, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit more in depth on the goals here. So, first goal we did score. Absolutely great play there by the boys. This is when I thought the Nico line was driving a lot of the play for us. Holla does a great setup. I mean, the broadcast really did break it down. I don't have to go too in depth on this one, where he drives the center of the ice, draws the defenseman towards him, sets Mercer's up for the drive towards the net, gets the rebound, shoots from behind the line. Nice deflection off of Vasi into the net. Was it the prettiest of goals? No, but that was definitely on purpose by Mercer. That is still a skilled goal play. That is not one of those like flub accidental ones, kind of like the second one was. So, yeah, no, great play there by the boys. Went up 1-0. Finally, again, getting on the score sheet first. And then we gave up a string of 3 goals. So there was the beautiful deflection that made it 1-1. Really, I kind of said it there at the top. It's got to just be Nemec there on the guy to not give him a clean high stick deflection play there, whether it's his body's in the way of the stick, his body's in the way of the puck, or he's tying up the stick. If he's just on the guy there and doesn't get lost in the coverage off of the faceoff, that puck probably is not just an insane deflection in. That is not on VTech at all. But that's a rookie defenseman learning play. That's, given everything else Nemec has done so far this season, you take the growing pains there with the rookie. Second goal against. That one definitely hurt from VTech. We're on the power play. We're feeling pretty good. And Luke loses an edge, loses the stick handle. Puck goes right to a Lightning player. Yes, he is dead center on the ice. Yes, there's no defenseman in between him. If you watch this channel a lot, I give a lot of slack to goalies when those are the case. But it wasn't the hardest of shots. He didn't pick a corner. It really went basically right under the arm, which is very good placement when the goalie is going to be kind of flashing to cover as much net. But still, that's just one of the ones that you want your goalie to make. Even if at the end of the day, it's one of those, if that was the only goal he gives up, you're kind of fine with it. I have no issue with the first one. Even the third one, I really don't put on VTech too much, but that's one you would probably like. But that's the second one. If he has that, we just win this in regulation. He doesn't. Shorthanded goal. Feels real bad, man. But that's what it happens, I guess. But even through all that, I think when there was 5 Devils on the ice versus 5 Tampa players, we were by far the best team, and that's not a great look for Tampa. Third goal for Tampa. This was with the delayed penalty right after we had just killed off another penalty kill. We take another penalty, delayed call. They pull the goalie. They get the extra attacker. Guys are absolutely gassed out there. I think it was the Mikey line. And so Point gets lost in the coverage right in the middle of the ice, as he is an expert at doing. Probably one of the best in the NHL at doing so. And he's not going to miss from his spot. That is his spot. He picks his corner, shoots, gets the goal. Again, that's Point there, so I'm not really going to rip VTech too much on that one. 3-1. Not feeling great, but then we really just locked it down in the third. Completely dominated. They had, 2 or 3 shots on 5-on-5 shots on net in that one. VTech, I thought, made a couple great saves in this one, but nothing that was made up for the ones that he didn't save. We end up starting the comeback. We had the second goal that I'm not going to call lucky, but Tampa, I think, did put this one in themselves. I gave Bratt the actual credit on the goal here. But it was just absolutely phenomenal. We earned that goal with the play, but it was still a fairly lucky goal in the sense that the Tampa player put it in. We earned it, though, by completely hemming them in, owning the cycle, lots of chances on net, keeping possession, and driving the net, getting some sticks on pucks, putting the effort in, causing chaos, and the puck goes into the net off of a really weird deflection shot bounce type thing off of the Tampa stick while he was battling with Mikey in front of the net. That makes it 3-2, and you're feeling pretty good there. Bastian makes the beautiful intercept play, blocking the puck with his skate, picking the puck up, gets the breakaway, and like I said, of all the breakaways in this game, it's Nate Bastian is the one to sink it. 3-3, feeling great. Then we had the fourth goal that wasn't on the offsides. Play goes to overtime, and I thought that was just a very weird overtime. Obviously, no Jack, no Timo. That's unfortunate. We still had Nico, we still had Bratt. We had chances, but they get the better of the chance. Kucherov is Kucherov. I kind of talked about it in the Boston game with, you watch Pasta out there and it's like, wow, that guy is phenomenal. You watch Jack when we have him healthy, it's phenomenal. You could say the same thing about Kucherov. Points leader in the NHL. He sets up that play. Tampa takes the game. Yes, they get the extra point on us, but we still have, 4 games in hand on them. Only back, was a couple points. Not that I'm standing watching even when we're not even halfway through the season yet, but we are, I think, 3 points back of both the Flyers and Islanders with 2 games in hand. So if you get 3 out of the next 2 games, if their games played stayed even, we'd be third in the Metro off of that. I didn't scoreboard watch at all, so I don't know what happened in Islanders, Carolina, Rangers. I think Capitals did lose, I saw. So, again, if you're scoreboard watching, I just do it for the content, but it's looking pretty good, guys. You see that effort with an injured team against a Tampa team that really should not have even had it that close. When we're healthy, this could be a wagon of a team, even with shaky goaltending. So I actually feel pretty good after that one. Florida's going to be a rough game. We know what Boston is like versus us as well. Come away with 3 out of the 4 points here, and you're feeling really good, in my opinion. Even going, so that'd be 1-0-1, so that put us at 1-0-2 on this road trip. that's pretty good. Awkward start times. I think it was 6 o'clock Florida, 1 o'clock for Boston. So keep an eye out for that. Any other names I want to shout out in this one? I thought Bastion did all right. Yeah, he had the goal, but otherwise, he had the hit that knocked the Lightning player out. I didn't think it was dirty at all. The guy had the puck. He played the body. I've seen that hit like a billion times in the NHL. They ran towards us. I don't know why Nate got the 2 there. We probably should have had a 4-minute for an instigator and roughing, but we didn't. They also got the shorthanded goal on that, but bottom 6, not too much to say. They didn't get a ton of ice. They also didn't do a ton with it. And yeah, goaltending was goaltending. Kind of touched on everything here. I thought the PK actually did pretty good. Yeah, we gave up the goal with the pulled goalie 6-on-5, but the actual 5-on-4 penalty killing on the power play Tampa didn't give up a goal, and you like to see that against a power play as deadly as Tampa. So yeah, gonna go ahead and call it here on this one. Was really looking forward to actually celebrating this. Felt like it was heading towards a win. I was super hyped up to come on here, pumped. Kind of took the air out of it a little bit, but still feeling good, guys. Enjoy this point that we did get, climb up the standings a little bit more. Would have felt a lot better winning it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Can't wait to hopefully hear some good injury news coming up forward, but I would expect on this road trip no one's coming back. So this is the lineup we are very likely to run for Florida and Boston. So yeah, going to wrap it up here. Yeah, nothing else to say, guys. So as always and forever, let's go Devils.